Good evening. My name is Aaron Gottschall, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about blood donations and how you can make a difference. With every 2 seconds in America, someone needing blood, this is a very important cause that I want to persuade you all to be a part of by the time you leave tonight. And like many Americans, we all espouse values of caring and compassion and giving back to society. Whether it's work, family, or a host of other reasons, we don't find the time. We don't make the time to give back. So what if I told you there was a cause you could be a part of that took 1 hour and you could save up to 3 lives? I'm the coordinator for Johnson & Johnson of our Orchard Road facility blood drives, as well as a regular blood and platelet donor myself. Last year I donated 13 times combined. So needle in my arm a lot. So tonight we're going to talk about the history and the need to collect blood, as well as how easy it is to get involved, which is really the key, and the positive changes that your involvement will make, not only for yourself, but for society. So we're going to start with a little history of blood drives and the American Red Cross. So in 1880, Clara Barton formed the American Red Cross. In the beginning, their mission was really domestic and foreign disaster relief aid. They got involved with the U.S. military during the Spanish-American War. And in 1900, and 20 years later, they founded the first official chapter of the American Red Cross. By 1918, there was over 3,800 chapters. Quite a successful growth rate. Then along came Dr. Charles Drew in 1940, who actually started the blood program of the American Red Cross. Now this was different than just the disaster relief aid. This was a program dedicated to blood. This was used a lot during World War II, and they were heavily involved with the military at that point, and to this day, the American Red Cross is still heavily involved with the military. You can actually get a job with the American Red Cross that stations you with the military service group overseas. In 1990, the whole system got modernized to protect the safety of the blood supply. This stemmed heavily from the 1980s when HIV and AIDS became a major issue in the United States. And by 2011, the American Red Cross and the blood drives that they run comprise 50% of all the blood supply in the United States. So what is a blood transfusion? You know, now that we're collecting this blood, we got to give it to somebody somehow. You don't drink it, so we got to transfuse it. According to Medline Plus, nearly 5 million people in the United States receive a blood transfusion every year. There's 3 typical parts of blood. There's red blood, platelets, and plasma. Red blood is what you think of when you think of blood. It's the red part that carries oxygen. Plasma is the liquid that carries cells, and platelets are the cells that help with clotting. All 3 can be used for different situations. Many of you who went to college or major colleges may remember there's a plasma building where your friends would go donate and get $50 a week to give their plasma. And platelets are typically used for oncology patients. Chemotherapy breaks down the platelets in the body, so they need to be put back in. And what's a blood type? Many of you probably don't know your blood type. If you've never had to know it, you don't know it. There's 4 major blood types: A, B, and AB and O. These are then broken down into positives and negatives. Type O negative is the universal donor. This means that any person can receive type O negative blood during a transfusion. Only 6% of the population has type O negative blood. So this right here emphasizes the importance of those people donating blood. 100% of the population can receive their blood in a life-saving situation, but only 6% of the population has that blood type. AB positive, the universal recipient, they're the lucky ones. They can receive anyone's blood. So whenever they're in a jam for blood, they can take it from anybody. Kind of lucky people in the United States. So who can donate blood? Anyone can make an appointment. Anyone. And the nurse will tell you if you're eligible. There's regular donors, and there's first-time donors. Regular donors are the backbone of the blood drive in America. They're the ones that keep the blood supply healthy and go about six times a year is the maximum that you can donate blood. But then there's first-time donors. First-time donors are also very important because we always need fresh blood. And without first-time donors, you never become a regular donor. The United States average for repeat donors is 3%. So only 3% of people who donate once ever come back and do it again. The blood drives that I coordinate with J&J, I'm very fortunate that my success rate is over 35% of individuals who come back more than once to donate blood. And finally, healthy people and all blood types. Everyone's welcome to donate. But of course, some people can't donate. So who can't donate? There's a whole host of criteria. Iron deficiency, low weight, age, depending on where you vacation, you might be at a malaria risk. I mean, our honeymoon is actually a malaria risk, so I'm not going to be able to donate after I get back for a year. Different things like tattoos and piercings and drug use. You use drugs, you're probably out. Tattoos and piercings in the state of New Jersey, fortunately, it's a regulated activity. So you can donate immediately after getting one done. But if in Pennsylvania, you have to wait a year afterwards. Different medications, being in jail, and pregnancy. Or you should not be donating blood. So if you can't donate blood, but you still want to be involved, what do? You become a volunteer. Volunteers are also an important part of blood drives. Without volunteers, it would never be able to happen. From setting up tables, to signing in individuals, to helping out with the refreshments afterwards, and caring for people who have any issues beyond donation. The volunteers that I have in my organization actually tell me that they get the same satisfaction by volunteering as people who actually donate blood. So now that you know about the history, as well as how you get the blood and why it's important, we're going to get started. A little quick run through of how a blood donation works. If you've never done one, you don't know. Sign in and read educational materials. It's really kind of boring, but it's very important to know because there's a lot of things you don't think about. Blood is a tricky thing that you don't ever get involved with unless you're actually donating blood. Take some vital signs and get the dreaded finger prick to check your iron levels. You answer a health questionnaire, and all of this is done in about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes later, after you walk in, then what happens? You're ready to donate. You go over, you lay down in a nice comfy chair, lots of syringes and things around. A little intimidating, but you relax. It's a nice environment, very comfy. Iodine is used to clean your arm where the needle will be inserted, and then bam, you're on. This is not me, but that's a very typical picture. It's a nice little needle, little pinch, no big deal. You lay there rolling a stress ball, keep the blood flowing. And about 5 to 20 minutes later, you filled the entire bag. Depends on the person, how hydrated you are, how often you do it, how big your veins are, different things like that. Fortunately, I can do it in 5 minutes. Maybe that's why I go back and do it all the time. It makes it a lot easier for me to do it. And after you're done, you get your arm bandaged and head over to the canteen or refreshments table to relax and revitalize something to eat and drink. And the term canteen, what they still call it today, comes from the 1940s when the blood program started with World War II. When the soldier was done getting blood taken, they would give him a canteen for refreshment. So now you've gone through the donation process and you understand it's pretty simple, pretty quick. So what benefit are you actually making? You've now given this blood. What are you going to do with it? Where's it going to go? So the way your donation makes an impact, the number one that I highlighted is one single donation can save up to 3 lives. Look at this room. There's about 15 or so of us in here. If we all donate the maximum number of times allowed per year, that's 90 donations, and that's saving up to 270 lives just from this classroom. It's a pretty impactful number about the power of a small group. And when those small groups all get together, you save millions of lives a year. Blood is used within 42 days, platelets are used within 5, all typically in the local area. So someone you may know is actually getting your platelets or blood transfused into their body to save their life. And 80% of the blood collected is from the American Red Cross mobile blood drives, not from a building. It's from them going out to my company and us running blood drives. That's how they get 80% of their blood. And at the bottom, the number one reasons that donors say they give blood and come back is because they want to help others. This is what we talked about in the very beginning, that everyone wants to give back. Most of us espouse that. This is one way to really walk in or live the values that you espouse. So now you want to get involved. I know you do. I can see it on your faces. So if you check out my wiki, you can sign up today. And on my wiki, I have a couple quick little videos. The American Red Cross actually uses YouTube to advertise and get people to donate. They use celebrities. There's a couple videos, as well as a link for a lot more information on the American Red Cross in general. But if you click here to save a life, appropriately titled, it will actually take you to the American Red Cross website, which will to the donation page to sign up for a donation. Enter your zip code, sponsor code, city, however you want to find out where a local facility is, you can find it on here. And if you can't find something local to you, you can go ahead and talk to your company, find out if they have blood drives. You might be familiar with Philadelphia's radio station WMMR. They hold a huge blood drive every year down at the lake. So there's always something going on. There's always somewhere to give your blood. So ultimately, in review, we talked about the need, how you can get involved, and the benefits you're giving back. Because remember, only human lives will save human lives, and each one of you has that power. So if you never thought about getting involved, now's the time to get involved. And I hope you all go donate blood. Any questions?